Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week for the second time is my co-host, Moose.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
So we recorded the podcast a couple days ago with Chaotic and Chocolate, and, well, two of our audio tracks only recorded about 15 minutes, and our backups, for whatever reason, didn't work through our website. So, Moose and I are here again to try to recap and just redo this whole episode.
Yeah, we're taking a mulligan on 68 and doing it again.
Taking a mulligan. But, yeah, so I think Chaotic will probably be joining us next week because Borderlands 3 is coming out, and that's probably his game of the year. So it was probably a better episode for him to be on anyways.
It's probably meant to be because if anybody, is going to talk about the new Borderlands game, you got to talk, it's got to be him. So.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so before we get into what we have been playing this week, this is a Patreon episode. So we have to pick our winner, which we did last episode. So I don't have to put anything in any hoppers. Our winner is Tim Fielding.
Nice.
So congrats Tim. I hear he's trying to save up to buy a Nintendo Switch. So
yep, he's gonna dip his toes into the old gaming pool. So I'm trying to get him on the Discord too. So once he comes in, let's not scare him off, Bear.
Try your best. I wonder if. Do you know if he gamed when he was younger? I'm thinking like the Switch is the perfect retro console at this point. Now you got NES and SNES stuff.
Right.
Spoilers.
Well, I know that he has the two mini consoles, I believe. At least one of them, either the NES or the SNES mini.
Oh, okay. So
or classic, I guess is what they called it, right?
Yeah, it's probably a perfect place for him to hop in for a modern console then.
Yeah. $20 a year, and he's got everything he played when he was a kid almost, right?
Yeah, definitely. So congrats to Tim, and thanks for your support. Thank you to all of our patrons.
Right.
Every month, you guys are awesome.
Just so you guys know, he joined last month. So if you're thinking for a reason to join our Patreon, it costs you $1 a month, and he just won $25. So it could be you.
It could be you. Also, over on our Patreon site, we are throwing up free content weekly, whether it's me, Moose, Chocolate, or even sometimes a community member. That stuff's up there. It comes out first for patrons, but a week later or a few days, whatever our exclusivity thing is, it ends up there for everybody to see for free. So go on over, check that stuff out. If you like what you see, maybe think about pledging. Get yourself in on some game giveaways.
Yep, we definitely appreciate your pledges.
100%. All right, so another week in gaming. What have the two of us been playing? This is going to be the weird part because we've both already talked about what we've been playing, so let's try to do it again.
I completely wiped all that from my brain, so let's see what I can come up with.
All right, well, you got a couple more games than I do, so let's start with you. Do you want to talk about some Ultimate Team, or you want to talk about Witcher 3? Your choice. Let's
just talk about Ultimate Team first.
All right.
So Madden might have broke Madden again.
I like it.
They released a 92 overall Michael Vick card for the Ultimate Teams, and there's basically just one challenge that you have to complete in order to pick up this guy and put him on your roster. So if you're into the online play and into the Ultimate Team thing, just get used to facing Mike Vick for the foreseeable future.
Is this going back to like 2007 broken Mike Vick?
It is. It's the 10-year all Madden 10-year team or something like that. So it's the best players from the last 10 years, and it's close to the 07. So I would say probably 2011. I think they had a broken Mike Vick on there also. So somewhere around there, and I know he's overall 92, and the only thing he's bad in is holding on to the football.
So just don't let him get hit, but he's so fast that nobody's going to catch him anyways, so you're good.
And if you are playing against him, just, truck stick. That's all I can say.
Truck stick all day long.
So it's kind of dirty. I don't know. Giving everybody the best player right off the bat is, they're creating a meta, I guess,
Right, if you're not using him, you're
maybe this is
playing the game right.
Their way of controlling how the card game goes. Who knows?
So did the recent NFL season starting this weekend have anything to do with you picking the game back up? Or have you kind of been trucking along
Yeah, I try. It's a nice, easy game for me to just sit back and relax, and I can actually listen to podcasts and not have to focus on story or anything, and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of check a few boxes and earn a few coins and card packs and turn it off for the day. So
And do they have dailies? I know they
yeah,
probably have weeklies, right? They have
yep,
dailies too.
they
Okay.
definitely have dailies. It's usually like win 2 games of any sort. Like you could just complete 2 challenges and then open a card pack, and that's your daily challenge. So it's nothing super difficult.
Okay, cool.
So it's a EA card game. Everybody
It's
that plays
more
FIFA,
Madden.
yeah, knows what I'm talking about.
Buy those packs.
Yeah, but you can't. You can buy in-game currency, but you can't buy the pack specifically. So
So you
it's
have
one
to
of
buy the
those.
in-game currency to buy the packs.
Right, and then there's some packs that are only behind paywalls that you have to buy the in-game currency to acquire, and then there's others that you can use coins, but it's 10 times the amount of coins to in-game currency.
Either way, still the most pay-to-win game out there.
Most definitely.
Hand in
Good
hand
old,
with FIFA.
yeah, it's good old EA. It's doing what they do until Congress makes it illegal.
Did you see the NBA 2K stuff where on
Yeah,
their
there's
advertisement, it's
literal
literally
slot machines.
literal slot machines and just showing, or like Plinko, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
the ball drops down and you just
Yep.
see these streamers like, oh my god, when they land this perfect thing that you're never ever gonna land because your
Right.
chances are 1 in 10,000 to get that Steve Nash legend card.
Right.
So bad, dude.
It's but they've got such a big and deep and loyal base that they'll keep
People are
doing
eating it up.
Yeah, so
They'll
until
never
they
stop.
put a stop to it, right?
Until you start not buying them.
No, until
They
somebody
will-
passes a law that you can't do it.
Right. Yep. No one's gonna pass up free money, which is what it is at this point for them.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So yeah, there's that out there. I still haven't beat the challenge. I got so close the other day. Basically, the challenge is to beat the Falcons, and they're like an overall 90, I think, and my team's like an overall 78. And you've got to score 24 points and 260 yards of total offense. And I took them to overtime, and all I had to do was kick a field goal in overtime, and I threw a pick six.
Well,
Yeah, so
that's unfortunate.
I haven't been back for a while because you have to play a whole entire game for this challenge. So that's a good 30-minute experience as opposed to most of these challenges take you 5 minutes tops.
Right. And I mean, I feel like it had to be a little bit longer. That seems like a pretty easy challenge to get.
I don't know,
essentially a
though.
broken quarterback.
Right. When I got the Bo Jackson card, though, it was super easy.
Okay,
It was like you had to score 2 touchdowns with him in 1 quarter or something. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I just need to get good or make my team better, or maybe just fork over some cash to get my team good.
There you go. That's what all the cool kids are doing. So
That's the idea, right?
Madden be Madden.
So yeah, tell me about your out west. What is that game type?
Just my Western XCOM game.
XCOM. There you go. I'm sorry, I was a loss for words there.
This is a good transition. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Couldn't have done it better myself.
a little awkward, but we'll get through it.
So as Moose was trying to point out, I'm playing a new game called Hard West, which is on the Switch right now. It is $3.99 on sale from $20. I think that's good through Thursday. So if you're listening to this on the day this podcast launches or the day after, well worth your money if you're into XCOM games. This feels pretty identical to XCOM. A lot of the same systems. It's grid based. Obviously, there's half cover, there's whole cover, there's percentages for all your shots. Really, a lot of stuff that you've become accustomed to from XCOM or more recently Mutant Year Zero. I think.
Yep.
It's that kind of game, but it takes place in the Old West, so you're dealing with 6-shooters, shotguns, repeater rifles, that kind of thing, with all sorts of different variations, different abilities with the characters. It's a little more, I don't want to say story-based, because for XCOM people, there probably is some deep underlying story that I didn't care about while I was playing it.
Just mash that X button, right? Get through whatever you can get through.
Exactly.
That's how I play games.
But the story here, it's sectioned off, so there's multiple smaller sections that are kind of making this bigger overarching story, is what it seems like to me. I'm in the first little section, So I have to play through X amount of levels, getting to know these characters. The characters I'm playing with right now, it was like a father, mother, son who were going across the Oregon Trail, and they ran out of money, so now they're stopping at this mining town. So I'm assuming each little story is going to be different, which is kind of cool. And there's a narrator, which is something different you don't usually see in these types of games. So their narrator comes in at like the beginning of missions to kind of talk about what's happening. Think Bastion, I think, is probably the best example.
I love Bastion's narrator.
He makes that game.
No doubt.
It's so good.
That and the music.
Yeah, for sure. But then, like, when you're finishing up a level, he'll be like, the stranger walked towards the door. You see a box in the corner. You open it up, and this was in it. And he's just narrating as you're moving your character forward, that kind of thing. It doesn't take place during the actual, like, combat sections, because that would get really annoying if you think about it. Like, Warren took 3 steps forward and hid behind cover.
So it almost sounds like it's like a Western D&D type game, and he's the narrator for the story, kind of telling you.
Yeah, and then you're just playing out the actual action-y bits. So, I mean, as far as combat goes, it's super XCOM-y. Like I
is that essentially what XCOM is? Is just tabletop with animations?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I think that pretty much nails it on the head.
Connecting dots over here. Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, your guns have like different ranges. So obviously, if you're further away, your percentage to hit is going to be lower. Just if you've played an XCOM game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, maybe start with XCOM. I think it's probably a superior game. Or don't.
Dude. Start with Mario vs. Rabbids.
Oh,
for sure.
That is 100% true.
That's baby XCOM. I still haven't beat it.
Baby's first XCOM is definitely Mario plus Rabbids. So if you had a tough time with that, maybe stay away from every other type of game that's like that.
I'll get there at some point.
Yeah. The only thing, so I don't really have too many gripes with the game. If you know what you're getting yourself into, the gameplay is actually, it's really there, and it's good, it's solid, and super cheap, which is awesome. The part that I can't really get down with and I don't like is the in-between missions parts. There's like an overworld map with a bunch of different locations you can click on, essentially, and get a bunch of story beats that way. Also, there's like a weird mining text-based game where you kind of, it'll be like, go mining with the little filter thing, whatever you want to call it. What are those things called? Like a pan?
Yeah, a gold pan?
Yeah, like
or
a gold
sluice
pan.
Box?
A what?
A sluice box?
A sluice? Yeah, actually. Am I dumb for not knowing that? Because I
live
that
in Colorado. They do that kind of stuff here. And there's a show on Discovery. I don't know if you've heard of it, called Gold Rush. So
I haven't, but okay.
it's terrible.
So
they never get any gold.
Whatever you just said, is that like the smallest pan? It's like what I put my spaghetti in to strain it. It's like a strainer.
Yeah, that's just a gold pan.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be like for $15 you can go mining with a gold pan. Then your guy will come up with like $20. It's like, all right, cool, you net $5. And then there's higher levels, like there's full on like excavation that'll be like $100, and then you find a little bit more gold. But like no matter what option I'm picking on or clicking on, I'm getting
your return is the same.
Yeah, like that's what it seems like. I'm never losing money doing this stuff, so it's kind of like it's pointless. And you have the 3 options with like what level of mining you want to do, but then after you do one, you can still click on the other 2. So it's like you're getting the same amount no matter what. There's no like risk reward, and you can do this in multiple spots on the map, and it's the dumbest thing, and I don't understand why. Like you're gaining the money, and then you can do things like go to the general store, because that's a location on the map where you can buy new weapons, abilities, that kind of thing.
So it's just like a afterthought of the game, or a secondary type.
Yeah, it's like they put the work into the game because I think they knew exactly what they wanted to do with the combat portion of it, but then it's like everything else outside of that, it just kind of fell to the wayside.
They threw it in there, and there it is.
And some of the locations on that map will be like the Hillfingers Ranch. So you go and you click on that, and then it'll be like a chunk of story. Maybe you'll meet a new character that's going to add or like become part of your squad. doing it that way. Your posse, I guess, is probably a better word. So it's like that kind of stuff is meh. But if you can get past that and you're into that XCOM type of gameplay, it's really good. There's things like ability cards, too, where you can add these cards to people that are on your team that will do different things that, like, make your weapons have, like, a ricochet effect where you can hit people behind walls if you can ricochet it off, like, a building or something. Kind of weird stuff like that. And then, obviously, different weapons can be equipped that have better stats.
Do they have like a Gatling gun? Is that like the biggest gun?
I haven't run into one yet, but like that, to me, that makes a ton of sense. Or maybe running into an enemy on the map where you have to be super cautious about where you move on the map, because if you're out in the open, you're gonna get mowed down by Gatling gun man.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that being like a boss fight thing. And then the last thing is there's definitely like a weird supernatural hellish kind of thing going on, because like I watched the trailers and I watched some reviews and whatnot, and there's stuff like demons and stuff, and I haven't run into that yet, but I keep running into this guy in a black suit who I believe is the devil. He keeps telling me to do things, and sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. Sometimes he tries to sell me stuff, sometimes I buy him, and eventually I'll probably sell my soul and have to fight the devil or something fun. But that's the one thing, like I said, the story is actually kind of there in this game, even if you are getting a lot of it through that text-based stuff. But yeah, I think I'll probably keep playing it. It's one game that I'm playing next to Astral Chain. Those are like my two Switch games at the moment. So
okay, so
I'll keep trucking on.
Sum it up, it's a $4 game, not a $20 game.
Oh yeah, like I think this is like would be a perfect eShop sale game, like $9.99 or lower. I would have been fine paying this. So seeing that it was $3.99, it was a game that I think you brought this to my attention like a couple months ago, like when it first came out. And
because I was
held off.
Yeah, I was intrigued just by the Western aspect of it, and then when I saw it was XCOM style, I was like, nope. But maybe my friends might like this.
Oh, right, and that's awesome because at like an XCOM Western, like that sounds sweet to me, and I'm getting that out of it. So, well worth it if that sounds interesting to you. And that's on sale for a couple days still. If you listened to this when it came out, if you didn't, well,
sorry,
I might not pay $19.99 for it. Yeah, exactly.
We'll save you money.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on. You're dipping your toes back into The Witcher 3.
I did.
Where are we at?
Does a stuffed unicorn ring a bell?
No. It sounds like a terrible Yennefer thing, though.
It's definitely a Yennefer thing, and it wasn't terrible.
There you go.
At least I don't think it was.
So I think you must be a little bit farther than I am in my current playthrough. I am doing a bunch of stuff in Novigrad with Triss at the moment. So
I went to the next place. I can't pronounce it, but it's like a bunch of like Nordic type people. And I found out about this little goblin looking thing, and now I gotta go find it, and I know where it is. It's with the Baron.
The Baron?
Yeah. Going back.
The Baron that I've seen 15 different times through 15 different playthroughs before I start over.
Your best buddy, the Baron.
Yeah, we're pretty much brothers at this point, I think.
Yeah, so I'm trucking along. I'm enjoying the game. I ran by some giant spider yesterday, and that scared the crap out of me.
Did you just keep on keeping on?
Yeah, I kept going. Yeah, absolutely. Because
is there a skull above its head? Like,
I
don't touch me.
No, I just saw big, giant, like hot pink or purple legs walking out of the forest, and I was like, nope. Kept it moving.
It's so funny that games can do that to you. Like in real life, I understand that. In your game, it's like you could probably turn back and actually figure out what it is.
Yeah, but I usually end up dying when I turn back to figure out what it is. Oh, the last thing I did that was of importance is I killed the werewolf dude.
Okay, well there you go. For people that know The Witcher 3.
Yeah, in the garden, and the sisters weren't happy.
Great. Spoilers for 10 minutes down the road from where I am.
It's probably a couple hours.
Maybe I should have played this game 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, I know exactly where he is.
This is 100% my fault, and I realize this.
But, if If you're in 2014 right now, play Witcher. It's a great game.
Don't skip this one, folks.
No.
So my last question then is this going to be the time that you actually beat The Witcher 3?
I think I'm just going to keep trucking along, kind of like I did with Assassin's Creed, until I get to a point where it's just a daunting wall ahead of me that I don't know if I'm going to overcome or not. So, yeah, at this point, sure.
All right. I'll say the same thing for sure. Yeah, this will be the time until it's not.
It's just a great game. The writing, like I actually set the controller down and pay attention to the story bits, and
which is weird for you because
exactly.
usually you couldn't care less about
right.
what's going on in the background of these games.
Yeah, but I kind of know what's going on. I kind of know what the story is. So things are still bad, at least. That's what I think in the story. So I got some work to do.
I'll say you'd be out of work if things were good.
Right.
A Witcher game where everything's going right. Just what's the point?
Yep. I'm learning about the Wild Hunt right now, and that sounds like some bad mofos.
Yeah, there's some jerks for sure. All right, so Moose and I are definitely going to be finishing The Witcher 3 any day now, so we'll make sure to talk about that.
Yeah, check out episode 95 and see if we're done with it yet.
Dude, at least episode 95. I would maybe double wherever we're at now.
We never said we're the best gaming podcast. We're just a gaming podcast.
Yeah, so. 100%. That's Crossland Gaming, a gaming podcast.
That's right. Come for the snacks, stay for the games.
There you go. All right, well, I feel like the first time we recorded the podcast, there was a lot more to talk about because we had two more people talking about what they had been playing.
I believe we were pushing the hour mark at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing that we had all been playing, I think a lot of the community are actually playing currently, is Gears 5, because that recently came out this past Friday. If you had pre-ordered, or if you were a Game Pass Ultimate, or just Game Pass in general subscriber.
No, if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, or if you have Game Pass Ultimate.
All right. So if you're just an Ultimate person,
right? If you're
playing
not
Gears
basic,
5,
then you've been playing Gears.
Didn't all the normal Game Pass subscriptions transfer over to Ultimate anyways or something?
You had to manually do it. They're still separate, and they're separate. If people are not smart enough to convert over, then they can still pay for their Game Pass and their live separately.
And if you're that person who's listening and not smart enough, you can reach out to Moose, and he'll give you a guide on how to switch over.
Right. It's not as good as the deal as they were running over the summer, but I think it's still a pretty good deal. If you do the Costco thing and buy a 2-year live membership and then convert. So. Right.
Yeah. Which I think netted most of the community 2 years of Ultimate for a very, very low price.
Yeah, so. I'm good till May of 2022.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you. Couldn't be happier, especially if they keep putting out quality games like Gears 5.
Exactly.
So I think we're both right around the same section. We both beat Act 1?
Yep, just finished Act 1, and I stopped.
All right, so we could play some co-op.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because it definitely seems like a good way to play this game. And it's cool because you don't get, weird random characters. You actually get, essential story characters that you get to play, and one of them is Jack.
Right. I was going to say, we're going to have to Rochambeau or flip a coin or something to figure out who's going to be the robot.
Because it seems like he's pretty limited. He just goes around shocking people.
It's you want to play Gears? You got to be Jack. Nah, never mind.
I'm going to go play something else. Thanks.
That third person that basically just gets to spectate your game.
Exactly. So Gears 5, it's a continuation of the Gears story. This is picking up right where Gears 4 left off. If you played through that, I watched a recap on YouTube for an hour and then finally got home and into the game, and then it gave me a recap anyways.
The same one, right?
This was someone narrating and talking about it, so it was literally an hour and a half of them just going over all of Gears everything, because I've never beaten one. Shame on me.
I'm sure I beat the first one on the OG Xbox. I had to have, right? Was it 360 or OG that?
360.
Okay, yeah. Because I think I went out and bought a 360 the day I saw the commercial for Gears.
So yeah, I would assume you beat it then if it was a console seller for you. Hopefully you'd beat it.
Yeah, well, I always have my eye on the next thing, so.
That's why we are poor people.
Yeah, I'm gonna be poor if I don't stop spending money. That's what my wife keeps telling me.
She's probably not wrong. I'm in the same boat. Yeah, so, I mean, first up, as soon as you get into the game, I think the first thing you're going to notice is just how damn good this game looks.
Right.
Especially if you're playing on an Xbox One X, you're getting 4K, 60 frames per second, which, when originally promised or even talked about, I was kind of skeptical because a lot of games you're getting now on the X are you're either getting performance mode where you're 1080,
Right.
60.
Either or.
Right, or you're getting look how pretty I am mode where you're getting 4K, but you're only running it 30. And this game is doing the best of both worlds and not having any issues from what I've seen. Like, I don't have frame drops. Everything looks great all the time.
Right. I've had no issues other than when Xbox isn't online. So.
Oh my god, what a mess. So this game comes out, I get home from work, I get to play a little bit of it, and then Moose and I try to link up that night, and we come to find the Xbox Live servers are down when
Right.
on the launch day of most likely their biggest game of 2019 has just launched.
Yeah, and it was so crippling. Like, you can't access your digital library. You can't.
I couldn't do anything.
No.
Nope. I tried to hop on Sea of Thieves through my computer, just like, oh, maybe it's just an Xbox thing. No, it's just no. Anything Microsoft is tied to, you're just, no.
I didn't try to pop
done.
in a physical disc, but I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't
wouldn't
be
have
able to
even
play
been able
those.
to sign into your account. So
Right. Yep. Exactly.
ugh, yikes.
So that was rough, but it came back on, and by the time it came back on, you were already watching a movie in the VR movie theater. So that's why I was playing Witcher.
And I'll just touch on that quick because I actually didn't touch on it the first time we recorded the podcast. But yeah, so I downloaded this essentially just a movie theater inside of my Oculus Rift that will play whatever's on your monitor. So I brought up Netflix on my monitor, put it in full screen, hopped into my Rift, which there was like 8 different settings that you could be in, and I just did this giant movie theater, and there's just like other little avatars around in the theater just watching this movie with you. So I started watching Superbad because it was on Netflix, just to kind of test it out, and then an hour and a half later I was like, I just sat here in my chair, like reclined with a headset on and watched the whole movie. What has my life become?
Just watch these 2 idiots fill up 2 Tide jugs with beer.
Dude, oh my god. It's just there's like, you could be outdoors around a campfire watching Superbad. You could be just out in the middle of space. It's fantastic. I can't wait to see what the future holds for suckers like me.
So, can you do that thing where they advertise like you're courtside and you're just sitting, on the side of the court?
Not that I found out, but I was literally just thinking about that like a couple days ago. I was like, I thought I heard about this thing where they would sell like courtside tickets through VR. I'm assuming that's all going to be like web browser based. Like, buy it here, and then just pop this into full screen mode, and then it'll mirror into your headset or something like that.
I want to say it was one of the cell phone companies. Maybe you should ask somebody at work.
Well, hey Waterloo, where you at?
Yeah,
I got VR questions. But yeah, I wish, dude. I can be at the World Series just sitting in the dugout.
Right.
Count me in.
Never buy a ticket again.
Don't need to. Why experience real life when I can just sit up here in my comfortable office? Yeah, that's so strange dystopia that's slowly brewing.
The Oasis.
Literally, that's where I will be. Yeah, back to gear stuff. So we finally, the servers came back up. I ended up hopping on at like 12:30 in the morning. I think you had probably already been done for a while or had gone to bed. So.
I think I fell asleep in a cutscene.
Hey, that'll happen.
It happens to me all the time.
And
that's when I know it's time to go to bed. Is when I wake up with my controller in my lap and I'm just looking at like 3 different speech
dialogue
prompts.
options.
Yeah, I'm just like, I have no idea what they just said. Turn the Xbox off.
It'll make me replay this, right? Hopefully we'll see.
Maybe they'll catch me up. If not, I'm sure it wasn't super important.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things in Gears. I went and grabbed something. like out of the kitchen, I think, during one of the cutscenes, and I missed like one of the biggest things. So you're gonna have to tell me what happened after we get off here, because like I know what happened at the end of Act One, but there was some sort of betrayal, and I don't know exactly what that is.
So my question here is, if you're even slightly invested in this story, why are you getting up and leaving in the middle of a cutscene?
I still got my headphones on. I can hear what's going on, but
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair, I guess. I still would have paused it during gameplay and then ran to the kitchen.
No, I know.
That's just me.
I like to be efficient with my time. So even if I don't like my Xbox to wait for me either.
That's
It makes no sense at all. But
no,
okay.
it doesn't. That thing is a machine that is built to do whatever you want it to do.
But it's gonna be my boss someday, Risky.
I mean, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, anyways, we're finally in game, or separately or whatever. I think this, if you've played a Gears game, you know, especially if you played Gears 4 tonally, it's just a continuation, and
Right.
it feels like a sequel, which it should. The gameplay, as far as I can tell, there's not really new mechanics. I think, is the drone new?
See, I don't know if that's a new feature or not, but it's really nice how you can basically send him like your dog to go fetch things out in the battlefield for you. And he's cloaked so people won't shoot him down.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than, because obviously this is a cover-based shooter, where ammo is clearly finite.
Right, yeah, most definitely. They don't want you using that Lancer too long, do they?
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, is that you're behind cover, your Lancer runs out of ammo, you can just ping a spot on the battlefield for Jack, the little flying drone, to go, and he'll just run over there, literally pick up the gun like in his little claw hands.
Like a claw machine.
Yeah, exactly, like a claw machine. That's so perfect. And then he'll just grab it and he'll come drop it right next to you. So you just look down, hold X or whatever, and then it's your inventory. He does the same thing for like grenades or just boxes of ammo. It's super smart and super helpful. I just wonder how weird it gets when, like, is that your job if you're the third player and you
just
control
go
Jack
retrieve stuff
to just scour the battlefield? Like, hey, I need a rifle, Moose. Will you go get me a rifle? Like,
yeah,
man, that sounds fun for you.
I'd get mysteriously disconnected pretty quickly if I was playing as Jack.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. I got disconnected and ended up in The Witcher 3. It was the weirdest bug.
My internet's broken. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Moose appears online on the Switch. Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's cool, but like I said, if you've played Gears 4, you know what the combat is. It's a cover-based shooter. I wish that it felt a little more like the Division 2, and I know what Chaotic argued with me about this because
the running in it.
Yeah, I mentioned how I hate the roadie run, which is the little like sprint animation thing,
and everything's controlled by your left thumbstick as far as movement.
Oh, it's just the worst. And when I was like, he was like, yeah, it's the best cover and movement system in any of these games. And I was like, have you played the Division 2 where like I
right?
point at something and click a button and my guy head down just sprints and then locks himself into the next piece of cover? Like,
yeah, he can dodge bullets.
Yeah, like what?
But
so, I mean, that's bothered me, but that's always bothered me. I think Gears fans, if they like that, like, it's still there. Don't worry, you still run like an idiot.
And the other Gears staple is the active reload. How do you like the active reload?
So when I was playing on PC, I found it, because I've played a little bit on both. I found it really tough on PC for whatever reason. I think it's just because I'm still not used to it. I have to like hit the R button while I'm doing things.
Yeah.
But when you're on a controller, it's just kind of on right bumper, so it's right there for you all the time. And PC players are probably just laughing right now. But if you're not used to that, it was a little tough. But I have never minded active reload, or like, because don't you get a slight buff to damage or something, or is it just literally just a speed thing?
I think it's speed. I'm not sure if you get it perfect. I think it just like automatically reloads right there, and there's no delay or anything.
Instead, okay. So yeah, and I mean you can definitely get. I think I've gotten to a point, like by the last time I played, where a lot of times I didn't need to even look up there.
Right.
It's like you kind of get the timing down when you see your guy start to like reload.
But it changes with every gun.
Yeah,
If
that's
you haven't
definitely
noticed,
true.
like the bar or the little tick on the slider is in a different spot, and the slider moves at a different speed for every gun.
Right. So I think I like the pistol. I feel like has a super little short window, and it's like
Yeah,
closer
real
to the top.
quick, right?
Yeah. So and I mean, if you're using the same guns a lot, I think it's something you can definitely learn. And it's just having it in your peripheral. I think maybe that's another reason it feels pretty easy.
But yeah, you're playing on a monitor. I'm playing on a 55-inch TV, so
Right.
I have to, almost, especially
Actually
if
turn your head and look up.
especially if I'm standing 18 inches in front of my TV, as I usually do
You're
when
a
I play
crazy
these
person.
type of games. Well, it's all the battle royale that's caused me to change my gaming ways. But I'm standing while I game now, so that's more healthy, right?
That's because we started with yeah, sure, I guess, but I think that all started in PUBG, where like
Yeah.
that game looked so bad when it first came out that you had to be standing 18
Right.
inches from your 65-inch television just to see that guy off in the distance.
Right. If he
Call
was
him out to your friends.
further than 50 yards, then I'd have to be, inches from my TV in 4K to be able to see him.
Exactly.
And now I'm just comfortable there.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's not really a ton to talk about Gears 5. The
Yeah,
story, I
There's
think,
a ton
is
more to play.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
the
what?
story's
How many acts?
interesting.
5 acts, I think. 4 acts or 5 acts.
It's definitely one or the other. I
Right.
know it's not a big amount. Or no, I think it was 4
Okay.
because I made a joke that we were 25% done with the game.
Yeah.
Not really
so
a joke, kind of factual.
Figure, 15 to 20 hours plus
I-
side missions.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And like, so where we're at, we haven't really run into the more
Open world
open world stuff, or like semi
It's still on
open
rails
world.
for us.
Yeah. So, and I kind of spoiled the last podcast about who you're playing as, but
Right. Yeah, that's all. You didn't really spoil it because I didn't know what you were talking about, but then I figured it out
Yeah,
after I
'cause-
got further.
in the like promotional stuff, they just see like you're playing as Kate, and Kate's like
Right.
the main protagonist. But when you start up the game, you're playing as JD again. You're like, what is going on?
And they paid that guy way less more money to do his voiceover than they did the rest of the people acting, because it seems like, bored and unamused and
Yeah, but like you said last time, he's the pretty guy who's not supposed to have
right.
anything
Yeah.
to say.
Pretty guy doesn't, don't pay you to talk.
No, just look at him. That's all you really need.
So it's Marcus Phoenix's son, if you're wondering.
Yeah, and if you haven't played Gears 4 or Gears any of the other ones, well, what are you waiting for? Same stuff we are, I guess, to finish those. Anyways,
I say you could jump in at 5 and still have a great time. It's a
100%,
really fun
especially
game.
especially with 5. Like as soon as you boot it up, it gives you, like we talked about, the whole like previously on Gears 4, and
Right.
like,
And
goes
then
over
there's
everything that happened.
If you go into the extra features, it also has one that's previously in Gears, and it'll go through all of the games.
Which that's I feel like that's the perfect one to do for like anyone, even if you're like
Right.
a seasoned Gears player. Like getting a refresher of those
'Cause
first
it's,
3 games is
What,
smart.
15 years of things you've got to try to remember?
Yeah, that sounds right. That's a lot. So
Yeah.
take the 5 minutes out of your day to watch the trailer that someone obviously worked hard on to throw that in the game.
I think the Coalition nailed this game, and you can't miss it, especially if you have Game Pass.
Yeah, and I think we'll have more to say. I think we have to, like, after we get through the game, since I'm assuming most of us will because it's a shorter game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have more thoughts later.
And then we can
on it,
check
though.
out the multiplayer modes, as well as what is the new mode that you can create your own?
I think it's called Escape
There you go.
or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Escape. So yeah, that's the other thing is like we got through Act 1. We haven't even touched the other stuff, and Horde mode is obviously a huge part of this game. So we'll even be able to talk about that stuff.
Yep, look for more. It'll be coming.
For sure. All right, so that's what we've been playing this week. A quick mention of Game Pass Roulette. It's not a Game Pass Roulette episode. I didn't have my Google Drive thing up.
Yeah, we're playing Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Well, some of us are. I haven't started yet. But I did want to announce that coming up this Friday, between 10 10:30 Eastern time, I am going to stream my one and only playthrough of Blair Witch.
Yes.
So, if
you don't know Moose is a big old baby.
He's a big old scaredy cat. So, this should be interesting.
Yeah. And we didn't. I didn't give a synopsis last time because we didn't have one posted, and we didn't want to take time to look it up, apparently. But so the synopsis for Blair Witch. Blair Witch tells the story of Ellis, a cop reeling from making a massive on-duty mistake due to PTSD he suffers from his time as a soldier. Ellis and his German shepherd named Bullet join a search party in the infamous Black Hills Forest, where a young boy named Peter has gone missing, as people tend to do there. So, yeah, that is our current Game Pass Roulette game. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, you can head over to Discord. We have a Game Pass Roulette channel there. You feel free to leave questions, feedback. Any feedback that's left will be talked about on the show. So, yeah, get it in on that. Links for Discord are in the show notes.
Must be an original story, huh? Because the first one, I think, took place like in the Northeast somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I don't know why they even really needed the
Blair Witch license, right?
IP, just because people have heard of it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Just association by name, get more people looking at it.
That literally might be it. I remember like weird stick figure doll things hanging everywhere, so maybe there's more of those in this game.
Can't wait. So yeah, Friday night, 8 or 10 o'clock Eastern. Look for me on Mixer.
Yeah, and there's one more week that this is in Game Pass for us, so if you are playing it and have feedback, obviously reach out, and we'll go over it on the podcast next week.
You betcha.
Yep, that's it for that Game Pass Roulette snippet, though. Next up, let's get into the news. Right, so let's go over to Moose, our new news correspondent. Moose, what is in the news this week?
Well, let's start off with a couple quick hits. First thing, Cyberpunk 2077 news. They announced last week that they will be working on and including a multiplayer game mode, but that won't be done until after the game and all of its DLC are completed and released. So you can look for that, be excited for that. I know it's turning some people off because they love just the single story of, CD Projekt Red's games.
I'm just interested, like, what kind of multiplayer, I guess.
Right. GTA Online is the only thing I can think of.
True. Okay.
You know what I mean? Just a big open
just
troll
stuff
verse.
You can do throughout. Yeah, exactly.
So
that'd be great. Yeah. All right.
But if you're in the development industry, they are hiring for any type of multiplayer aspects. So if you've got some skills, check out their website, and they are looking for people. So, yeah. And then did you check out the Nintendo Fitness Ring teaser video?
Oh, good Lord. So before you even talk about this, pause the podcast right now, head on over to YouTube, and just Google Nintendo Fitness. I bet you is all you have to Google. Watch that video and then resume listening.
We'll wait.
And great. Wasn't that hilarious?
Oh my gosh, what in the hell did we just watch, right?
Dude.
So yeah, there's this thing. They don't have any names for it yet. They just put out a teaser video last week after the Direct for some reason.
I mean, it's pretty apparent why, because this is a super weird,
weird,
off-putting, just weirdo thing.
So it looks like there's one band that you strap to your thigh or arm or, an appendage basically, and you put a Joy-Con in it, and then you use this rigid ring belt type thing and put the Joy-Con in the other one, and you use it for various exercises and events such as archery, track and field, boxing, clay shooting. I saw some weird stuff. It looks like the games included are kind of like Wii Sports or Mario Olympic type events. So,
which makes sense for more, because they're just branding it as like a fitness thing for Nintendo. So that kind of stuff makes sense.
And it's right up there with that balance board. I was guilty of buying it and seeing what it was just because I was curious, but
Yeah, where you'd like do the fake hula hoop while standing on a piece of
Right.
plastic kind of thing.
Or the ski jump. All those. Yeah, I did all that
I
nonsense.
wonder how many of those got broken just by giant men jumping up and down on these things.
Nintendo says I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah, the funniest part in this whole like little trailer thing was when there's like just a room full of people and then one dude's on the floor doing like leg kick things up in the air.
Yeah,
Like-
he's holding the ring above his head like a steering wheel, like laying on his back, and then he's just doing some butterfly like swim kicks with his little legs, and the whole family's standing around cheering him on. And I don't even see a TV in the room, is
It's
there?
the weirdest thing, and I'm sure that move has some type of real life name for it. But clearly,
Right.
Moose and I don't spend a ton of time in the gym, so
Nah, my calisthenics are subpar these days.
so when you see people doing these weird things that you're not used to seeing, it becomes the most hilarious video you'll see all year. It's
Right,
just
and
go
what could make games more fun than doing mountain climbers till you puke in your living room, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what Nintendo thinks at least.
Yeah, CrossFit for life.
Oh God.
So yeah, last thing is Ubisoft is dipping their toes in the VR ring. They are putting together a 50-man team for an unannounced AAA VR project based on one of their known IPs. So previous IPs are Star Trek Bridge Crew, Space Junkies, and other things I don't know about because I'm not VR, but I know you're stoked.
Not VR. Yeah, I just threw the story in here because there's not a ton of AAA VR stuff happening.
Right.
So seeing Ubisoft do it with an IP that we've heard of,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. So
Yeah,
maybe
because you got what? Tom Clancy, you got Assassin's
Creed.
Creed. What other ones did they have that are
those are the good ones.
Far Cry?
Yep.
Yeah. So what if it's a Far Cry VR game? That sounds perfect. Just
Yeah, I'm just
weird
picturing
stuff with
like
a
a
shooter.
weird Skyrim, like how Skyrim VR is a thing. So just why not make Far Cry 4 VR or
Right.
something?
so
Yeah, or like a weird stealthy shooter, like Splinter
yeah,
Cell
like
thing.
Wildlands, yeah, something
'Cause
like that.
That was one thing I saw being like rumored. Is like, oh, maybe this is a Splinter Cell thing because people keep rumoring that a Splinter Cell game is coming. Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell. It's like, how pissed would people be if this is actually a Splinter Cell game and the like 2% of the gaming population can actually play it because those are the people that use VR.
I'm pretty sure that would just redirect all those people that are getting ready to raid Area 51. They'd be headed to Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, that's probably the
Seems
same
about
demographic.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
so yes.
Everybody take a right. We change
Oh,
plans.
God, definitely cool news though. If you got yourself one of them VR headsets.
Yeah, maybe one day. So after that, we got a whole bunch of Nintendo Direct news.
Oh boy,
news.
did we!
So let's just go ahead and start. Overwatch is coming out on the 15th of October, so that's cool. I think Moose predicted that. Good job, Moose.
Good job, Moose.
Luigi's Mansion 3 got some news. They did about a 3 or 4 minute presentation. The game's coming out October 31st. They showed a few of the theme levels. Each floor in the hotel or mansion is going to be a different theme. Themes include tomb suites, dance hall, a pirate-themed restaurant, just to name a few.
Yeah, that's perfect for like this type of game for like
Right.
variety and stuff. Being in a hotel that could potentially have like all sorts of random themes for the
Yeah,
level. Like it's smart.
yeah, exactly. Are we getting this game? I haven't decided yet.
I don't think we have decided. I have known that like
I don't know anything
affinity
about
for this
Luigi's
game 'cause
Mansion. Yeah, me either.
I haven't played the first two, but like Waterloo from the community was over here a couple days ago, and he was like, "Dude, are you pumped for Luigi's Mansion 3?" And I was like, should I be?" Like,
Anytime your name's in the title, you gotta hype it up. So, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they're also coming out with a Scream Park mode. Basically, it's mini games, 2 to 8 player multiplayer. You can play 4-player couch co-op, or you could even go online and play up to 8 people. 2 teams play against each other to take down the ghosts and collect coins. Most coins wins. So it kind of looks like a Mario Party extension on the Luigi game.
You didn't want to mention how it's
Oh yeah,
Luigi's
the team names.
against Gooigi.
I'm Team Gooigi all day, every day.
Still the most like cringy, weird name.
It most definitely is. That's
Like,
it doesn't translate, I'm sure, in Japan, but everybody here just kind of shudders every time you say Guichi.
it's like, I wonder what when they came up with it, like, yeah, Guiji, like that makes a ton of sense. And then like everybody on the Western, like,
US
their whole
marketing,
Western
like-
audience is like, that's gross. What? Ugh.
Maybe it's just us. I don't know.
It's 100% probably just us. Yes.
So there's also a new Kirby game coming out. It's free to start, whatever that means.
Joy, more Mario Run.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be more of a MMO RPG type game. Still 2D side scroller, but you can team up with 3 other friends, couch co-op or online, I believe. There's 100 plus quests to explore. You can be, your classic mage, warrior, healer. They have cute little names, cute little Kirby names for each class, but it's essentially the same thing. And you go around doing quests to level up, i.e. World of Warcraft, I guess. I don't know.
All right, and if I want to be a new class, do I just like swallow an archer and then I become an archer?
You'd think, right? But I don't think it's that easy. I think
I doubt it.
You gotta buy some in-game currency.
I probably have to pay 99 cents to turn my sucker back on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's only there for a certain amount of time.
Exactly. You've got 2 days of suck power with your Kirby.
You need to wait another 15 minutes before you get another suck.
Oh god. Gaming future is just horror.
Yep, that's when we quit games.
Yep. 100%.
Just start playing board games. So that's Kirby. I'll check it out. I don't know anything about pay to start, so I'm sure something dirty will be coming up. Look for that in the news. Trials of Mana HD Remake is coming out April 24th. So they did just release the Mana Collection, but that is all the 16-bit classic NES or SNES games. I can't remember. They are making a full digital HD remaster of this game, and it's going to have action-based combat as opposed to turn-based. So I think I'm going to buy this game. It looks cool.
I would say as long as it's not a turn-based RPG, you're probably there.
You betcha. Let's see. Return of the Oberdin, also known as
This is Chocolate's
game. Yeah, Chocolate's pirate game. Spoilers, there's no pirates.
God.
So it's a story of a fictional ocean liner that takes place in 1803. They go out for a voyage or a cruise or something, and they come back and everybody's either dead or missing on board. So it's up to you to figure out what happened and solve the mysteries. And it's got an interesting art style. Think of Etch-a-Sketch. That's kind of what it looks like. Everything is single line drawn, no shading, and it's black and white.
Yeah, and which I'm usually all for like weird artistic takes on games, but this one I don't know. This one's not doing it for me. I wasn't a fan of the art style.
The way that they like walked up the little draw ladders or whatever they call them onto the boat, and I almost almost give me a sick feeling of looking at it, because it's like they try to do a 3D artistry, but they're using single line animation, and I just don't know if it translates very well for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Sweet, let's move on. Little Town Heroes coming out on October 16th. This is the people, Game Freak, that made Pokemon and another little RPG called Undertale. So it's turn-based RPG with time attack mechanics, and instead of using weapons, you use ideas and strategies. So it's definitely a unique take on an RPG. I'm not sure about it because I don't understand it quite yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to see more of the actual like combat, I guess.
Yeah, because it looks like there's math involved, and good luck with that.
This game looks nice though.
It does.
Got that
it definitely
going for it.
got the cool Undertale Pokemon type, soft animation style.
Yeah.
Up next, we had... Sorry, I lost my spot. Oh, Smash news. So, anybody playing Smash? Yep, me either.
Nope.
You own it, though, don't you? I guess...
Yeah, I got tricked into that somehow.
Did you buy it digitally?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my goodness. I own Smash. Would you look at that?
You do. Congrats.
So, Banjo-Kazooie is out now for the Fighter's Pass, or whatever they call it. This is the 4th of the 5 that are being released or revealed, I think. And it's out now. So if you want to play Smash and you want to get your new character, go get you some Banjo. And they also revealed Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. A little crossover action there for you. I never played Fatal Fury. It's from what, Neo Geo?
Neo
It's console
Geo, yeah.
before the NES, or just, I think that's the ones that they used to put in the arcade all the time, and you could choose. Like they usually had like 10 different games that you could choose from, like Samurai Showdown, this game, a beat 'em up similar to Double Dragon or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't spend a lot of time in arcades.
You're too young.
Yep.
See, I think my grandpa turned me on to video games when I was super young. He just, come pick us up from school or whatever, and we'd go to an old dingy arcade, and he'd give me $5 and
Here's
tell
a
me to go.
handful of quarters.
Yep.
Good luck.
And he used to love what do they call them? Schmops. The 1942, all those type of games where you got the plane and you got to shoot everything falling on the screen.
Yeah, dude.
So,
some of those games are so good.
Yeah, so that kind of introduced me to gaming at a very young age. So I've got an affinity for arcade games. But
Go play Skyforce.
Skyforce, okay.
Do it. Look it up.
A shot. Okay. My favorite one was Captain Skyhawk on the NES. But I don't know if
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't know
it'll come
if
to
anybody ever
Smash.
played that game. So yeah, Smash is coming out. Oh, and they also revealed, since everybody's so sad that 70 fighters isn't enough, that they're coming out with 5 more next year. So I think it's like $25 for the fighter pass or something like that. You can get 5 more characters to smash it up with.
Like, 10 of those characters overall must be, like, the meta, right? So
Right,
there's,
yeah.
like, 70-plus characters that just aren't going to be getting used ever.
Well, I think the way that game works, though, is you have to play with every character in order to unlock everything, correct? Like, there's
if I played more than 2 hours, I would totally have an answer for you, but I don't know.
Because I think every fighter has its own little story mode, and you've got to fight all the way through that to unlock their, I forget what they're called. They have little animals that come in and cheer for them, and there's all sorts of additions and add-ons. You know what I mean?
I mean, I kind of know what you're talking about with the side characters.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was some characters that's like, why aren't those main characters when I have people like the ice climbers that are main characters?
Or the dog from Duck Hunt.
I don't think that's actually in the game.
No, he is a character that you can fight with.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Yikes.
So yeah, smash it up. There's more stuff coming. Get excited for that. Next one I was kind of stoked for, just to see the game some more. Zelda Link's Awakening coming out the 20th this month.
That's right around the corner.
Now. Yeah. So they introduced the Chamber Dungeon, which is kind of like a Mario Maker dungeon creator for this game. You can create and save your own dungeons to your own file, as well as save them to all the Zelda amiibo. So if you want to make a dungeon and share it with your friends, you save it to your amiibo and pass it off to him at school or work or whatever, and he can check out your dungeon.
Mail it to him through the postal service.
Verizon. What?
Yep.
So yeah, I guess that's just going to kind of be the status quo for games in 2019, I believe, is there's some sort of maker function or creator function on it, which is, reminds me of Tony Hawk 2 days, but that's fine.
When you get too lazy to make games, you just have your community do it for you.
Exactly. It's nothing like going out and cooking a $40 steak, right?
Exactly.
So, Zelda's coming out. Get excited for that. Let's see. Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition, September 27th. They announced that there's going to be a free Champions DLC pack. It's going to be day and date as release, and it looks like a bunch of cosmetic crap. So I don't know. I'm dipping my toe into Dragon Quest builders as we speak, so I don't quite understand 1 through 10 as opposed to 11 at this point. Right. But I'm sure somebody's stoked about all these cool new outfits, and there's a 10-hour demo out now on the eShop. So
which is that's huge.
Yeah. If you don't know if this game's for you, I'm pretty sure you'll know in 10 hours.
I would say if you don't know within 10 hours, then you should buy the game then.
Or you should just sell your Switch because you don't know how to make up your mind. Then they announced something weird called Tokyo Mirage #Fire Emblem Sessions. That'll be released on the 17th of January. It looks like a crossover RPG, maybe fighting.
It's
game?
like, I'm pretty sure it's like dancing.
Okay,
I think it's like a rhythm game or something.
sure.
Or there was just a lot of K-pop happening while this trailer is happening, so I just assume that's what it is.
I just saw a lot of
couldn't tell
bars
you.
at the top and people in the middle of the screen, so I just assumed it was a fighting game. But it most definitely could be a dancing game also.
Yes, we'll have to find out.
Yeah, that'll be me. Day
next
one,
year.
I'll be there.
Why did we buy this?
Yeah. Why not? What do you mean? So, also, Deadly Premonition 2 was announced. Blessing in Disguise coming 2020. I believe it's coming to multiple platforms, but Switch is one of them.
Yeah, I think it's a Switch like starter exclusive
Okay.
or whatever.
And then they'll drop it to other things afterwards.
Yeah, they'll have exclusivity for X amount of time.
It's a story-driven thriller. It's up to you to solve the mystery or go mad, basically, is what the trailer said. And it looks really weird.
I would say the first Deadly Premonition has like a weird cult following, like people that still play this game that's super old and looks super
Right.
terrible. But
And yeah, everything I've heard as far as the podcasts I listen to, they're saying why do we need it to?
Yeah.
So
that sounds right.
all those cult following people though, be stoked to know that Deadly Premonition is out on the Switch right now. So
Maybe we can go figure out what's going on in the first one, and then
Yeah.
we'll know if we should buy the second one.
go ahead and let me know, and I'll judge from your experience.
I don't know. I buy everything. So
Yeah, exactly. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. Wow, that's a mouthful. It's out now on the Switch. So I know that game has hundreds of hours of gameplay in it. If you're looking for something to pass the time,
And I think-
public transit, something like that, Blade, this might be your game because there's tons of stuff for you to do.
Yeah, I know. I think Cabo Castle and Shine are all
Yep.
playing through it right now. Actually,
Yeah, they're playing through it on the Xbox.
right.
So, but I know I don't know. I want to say it's at least 8 hours to complete the main campaign, but there's hundreds
so
of
much
hours.
stuff at your
Right.
fingertips.
Exactly.
And I feel like this thing reviewed like all 9s and 10s. So
Yeah, it's smooth. From everything I've seen, it runs super smooth. It looks great. It's a perfect port to a portable console.
and that was a cool out now announcement. So,
Now.
sweet.
Yeah. Doom 64 is coming out on the 22nd of November. So if you didn't get enough Doom last week, it'll be a short wait, but you can play it not the original, but the 64 version, which is, probably one of the better newer versions, I would say.
Yeah, and you got 1 through 3, so why not
Right.
pick up 64 too?
Eventually, the whole Doom catalog will be on the Switch,
Yep,
including Eternal. Isn't it coming out to Switch?
it
or
is. Yeah.
Okay.
So all of the Dooms will be there.
Right, and then they had a little teaser on a game called Rogue Company 2020 release. It's a third-person shooter from Hi-Rez. From what my notes say, looks like a hybrid from Fortnite, Blackout, and Apex.
The so Hi-Rez is the Paladins people. What I
Okay.
thought I saw was Paladins with just normal people with normal guns, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So maybe that's not what it is at all. But
Because it looked to me like they dropped in docks, because I drop docks a lot, and that looked very familiar to me.
so maybe that's exactly what it is.
So, yeah, I'm sure there's more to come on that game. It'll be released sometime next year. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Here's some good news for all you Poke fools out there. You can customize your trainer just like every other Pokemon game. So there'll be stuff in the store that you can buy and make your guy look different than everybody else.
All right, good.
Yep. Number 2, they announced there was a Pokemon camp. So it's basically just like a social area that you can take your Pokemon to. It's a dog park on Pokemon.
That's exactly what it is. It's just a dog park for your Pokemon where you can go meet up with your friends and show off how cute your dog is and maybe feed it some stuff or make it do a trick or something.
Yeah, I think you can feed it candy of its relatives or something. Isn't that a thing in Pokemon?
In Pokemon Go feeding, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You turn Pokemon into candy and then feed the candy to Pokemon, right? Something like that.
Oh, it's so morbid.
Now eat your grandma. What? Next
Yeah,
up,
you had to cross
speaking
the
of
line.
food, no more candy talk. We're talking curry here. It's a new feature in the Pokemon game. It's cooking and it's curry. You can't cook anything but curry, but there's 100+ types of curry that you can make.
Do you even call it a feature? Like,
I don't know. Like, why just curry?
dude, this was so weird, and I felt like they spent so much time on it. It's like, yeah, collect ingredients throughout the world so you can make peanut butter and jelly curry.
Yeah, it's like
or
a fruit cocktail curry. I was like, I don't think that's a thing,
pizza
but maybe
curry.
it is.
It's just pick your favorite any type of food item and make it a curry.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's coming.
Interesting.
Some people are stoked for that, I guess.
People that like curry.
Yeah, and then they revealed 2 new characters: Poltegeist, which is a ghost inside a teapot,
Punny.
and Cramorant, which is a hybrid Pokemon. I believe it's a wind and water Pokemon.
I just watched Cramorant just like hawk up a fish out of his throat
Yeah.
and just like spit it at someone.
He
God,
basically just yawns on anybody you fight, so
it's the classy Pokemon right there.
always need more Pokemon that puke.
Yep.
So yeah, that summed up the Pokemon news for the Direct, which is, it took out 5-10 minutes there. It was a nice little chunk. And then they dropped the bomb on us. SNES Online is available right now.
By far the best and biggest announcement in my opinion.
Absolutely. So they dropped 20 games. They're not trickling them out every whatever they did last time with the Nintendo games. They dropped 20. They said, here you go. Boom.
And then I'm assuming they're still going to continue to trickle them out too, which is
God,
awesome.
I hope so, because there's a few games on there that are missing.
Where are all my Donkey Kong countries at?
Right? So, a few games from that list are Super Mario World 1 and 2,
Yes.
Zelda Link to the Past, Star Fox, and Stunt Race FX. I don't know if you ever played this, but I played the crap out of this game back in the day, and I watched a video of it, and I'm trying to figure out why. So, I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
Dude, nostalgia is just a terrible, terrible thing.
I know. So, they also will include a rewind feature in the games. So, Bear, there's no excuse for you not to beat any of these games at this point. You can just rewind and start over.
I will say, so I tried out because I was definitely most excited about Super Mario World. So I got into that this past week a little bit, and I used the rewind feature, and I gotta tell you, it just
It's not
feels
great.
feels real dirty. No,
Oh,
it doesn't.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm cheating. Like,
Yeah.
who cares if I have 3 lives left? Because essentially I have infinite lives left.
Right.
And that was kind of just like,
It's like
Okay.
that, what did they, Funky Kong mode in Tropical Freeze that they added, where he just like floats on a surfboard all the time and spikes don't hurt him. And
yeah.
it's just like,
what is the point?
yeah,
Maybe if you have small children, use the rewind thing.
absolutely.
So they don't get frustrated or something. But as a gamer with dignity, I couldn't
'Cause-
do it.
Yeah, that's like with Mario Kart. I thought back in the day, who would ever use these features of auto gas pedal and always keep you straight on the track? And now I let my 6-year-old play, and we turn all those things on, and it
Yeah.
struggles sometimes. So
You pretty much don't have to do anything here.
yeah. So, they also announced that there is a SNES controller, and guess how much it costs?
$60 for sure.
Nope, half that, sir. $30. I hope that you can buy multiples, but they said it's exclusive to Nintendo Online subscribers only. So, I hope that it's a more than a one per customer type deal.
What's awesome is you can buy this controller and a year's subscription and still pay less than a normal controller.
Right.
So
And,
that's cool.
and it doesn't, because I know a lot of people were upset with the controllers they came out with the Nintendo, because they were essentially just Joy-Cons and they didn't fit the screen. They looked real clunky, and the only way
They
to
look
charge
so
them,
dumb.
yeah, and the only way to charge them was to dock them basically. So they listened, and now it's just got a nice little USB-C port right on the top of it that you can either hardwire and play, or just charge it and play it wirelessly.
Being able to play it, yeah, like the whole wireless thing, that's so awesome. It's,
And I gotta say that the old SNES controllers have to be like the gold standard for quality controllers, because I treated those things like crap back in the day, and I don't think I ever broke one of them.
Yeah, and I wonder what the size is going to be like. That's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about. Is I feel like they kind of look like a smaller
I
version.
hope not, because I got big hands.
Right. I'm not sure, but I thought they looked kind of small for some reason, like next to the Switch. So I could be wrong though. They might be replicas.
That'd
Fingers
be nice.
crossed.
I got one in the basement to compare it to. So,
There you go.
and that was about it for the Nintendo Online news. And then they came out with a little bit of news for Tetris 99. I don't know if anybody but my wife plays this game, but she's pretty good at it. And they announced a 2.0, which is a year one or year two basically. And that there's an elite mode, so you've got to earn your way up to it and qualify basically. So it's like a high roller type room that only if you have this certain badge or these badges that you can actually play Tetris with all these other elite people. So separating the player base, gotta love that. Then they have essentially what's a battle pass. They're having daily, weekly, and monthly challenges to unlock cosmetic items, charms, icons, things like that. That basically you can show off how good you are at Tetris within the game.
And for some people, that's important.
Right, and then they had a DLC that's payable with a 2-player battle mode on it, and that was kind of a bummer to see that the 2-player couch co-op mode you had to pay extra for.
Yeah, that seems like a perfect little free update. Just like
Right.
I don't know. It kind of sucks that that's a paid part of the paid stuff, but
Yeah, and they
it's
are
cool
releasing.
they're supporting it.
Right. They are releasing a physical copy of this game, and it includes a year of Nintendo Online with it. So
That's just going to be a box with a code
I
in it.
assume so, like the Fortnite
Yep.
crap. So yeah, there's Tetris. If you're into Tetris, that's good news for you. Mario vs. Sonic had a little blurb there. They have 10 retro style events with like the 16-bit graphic type games.
The Olympics, by the way.
Yes, Mario vs. Sonic Olympics 2020 Tokyo to be exact.
Very exact.
Yeah, this one's in the gaming budget this year, so
Woo! Can't wait. We
I
just
can't
can't
wait
play
for
with
this
each
game.
other.
no, we definitely can't unless you buy it too.
No, sir.
So there's also mini games and unlockable characters as well as a story mode. So it looks like it's got some meat to the game, as opposed to I remember the Wii ones. There wasn't a whole lot to them, was there? Just play the events and win the gold medals, and that was about it.
Didn't play it there, so that
Dude,
might be why I'm not excited.
You are missing out. There was some good stuff back then.
There's too much stuff back then, added with the too much stuff that's out now, and
Right.
everything in between.
And it was on the Wii, so
And who owned a Wii? Well,
I owned
actually,
2 actually.
I would say I actually did own a Wii. It was the Wii U that everyone missed.
Yeah, I owned a Wii and then sold it, and then Mario Kart came out on the Wii, so I
And
bought another
rebought
Wii.
Can I get that back? I just sold it to you guys like a couple
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah, they're
Thanks.
like, yeah, that'll be $175, and you're like, but you gave me $75.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming to GameStop.
This is why we're going under.
Yeah. So that's about it for Mario vs. Sonic at the Olympics. Then we had a little thing with Daemon X Machina. This is Mech Warrior's Dream here. It's let's see, the demo's out now. Progress carries over, so anything that you get, collect, or keep, get in the game will carry over.
Progress
Sorry, I'm
carries
lost for
over.
words. Exactly. Risky, that's
Gotcha.
what I'm talking about. And then there's also a co-op mode. You can play up to 4 players, couch, online. I think any way you want. They had also all the switches connected on one Wi-Fi link. So I've never done that before. I don't think I've ever been around with somebody else with the Switch in the room. So have you?
I mean, just Lou and I, but we've never
Oh, okay.
never done what you're talking about though.
Right, play co-op. Then they announced Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast to be released later this month, September 24th. It's a port to the Switch from, I believe, one of the DS consoles or something like that,
It seems
right?
like it's old or something,
Yeah.
or maybe came from a handheld because it does not look great.
No, it doesn't look great at all. Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection. So you'll get Black Flag and Rogue together in one cartridge or one digital download. It comes out December 6th. Looks cool. So Pirates and Rogue together. I might pick this up. Who knows? How about you?
Yeah, that's not. I mean, I like Black Flag, and I never played Rogue, so it's tough to go do that combat or that like ship
Right.
combat when you have games
Odyssey.
like Odyssey and
Yeah.
Origins that have just
I really did.
done it so much better.
I tried to go back to 4 Black Flag. I got it on my PS4.
And like Moose, don't get this because you're super frustrated and stuck on Odyssey's ship combat right now. So you're gonna go back to a game that has worse ship combat, and it's
And
a majority of the game.
I already own half the titles on PlayStation,
and,
so
and yes, there you go.
it's probably better on PlayStation anyways, right?
Don't do it. Yes, definitely.
So, this next announcement's for Ladonian and Ladonian only. Dauntless is coming out. They didn't say when, but it's coming to the Switch, so check the eShop daily, buddy.
Yep. Maybe I'll get back into it because it'll be free and on my Switch.
Maybe.
Maybe. And well, it's cool because progress carries over. Like you have
Right.
to sign up for a Dauntless account, which means you can play.
That's Epic Games, right?
Maybe. I
I think it is. I believe it's Epic Games.
So yeah, you can play on your PC, play on your Xbox. I think isn't this also coming to mobile? I thought.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
they
it
announced
is.
that way back when. So
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of. I remember when I was playing the Xbox, I was playing on PC actually. It was like, well, I might play more of this if it was on my Switch, and I could just kind of take it on the go. So we'll see. It's free, so
Right.
sure we'll take a gander when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a new Monster Hunter game out right now that I'm not checking out, so.
True.
Let's see. Almost last but not least, it's Animal Crossing. So I know some people are excited about this. Not sure why, but you do you. They are going to feature a four-player local multiplayer and up to 8 online. Didn't really have any specifics as to what it's going to be, but they just said that you'll be able to play with up to 8 people. So that's fun. The theme for Animal Crossing is going to be a beach, island, resort type theme, and I hear they give you a tent to pitch when you show up. So
I love tenting on beaches. So
yeah, sand is everywhere.
Perfect. It's everywhere.
Yeah, dude, that's like when I went on beach vacations. You check in at 1:00 in the afternoon. By 3 in the afternoon, the whole floor of your hotel room is covered in sand, and you can't figure out where because you haven't touched the beach yet.
Yep.
So
Can confirm.
I was just making sure that wasn't just me.
No, definitely not just you.
It's like they come in your room when you're not looking and just sprinkle sand.
Sprinkle
everywhere.
sand everywhere.
Make you
Look,
feel
it's
like
so
you're at the beach.
so beachy in here.
Yeah. Thanks for that. So yeah, beach theme. They also give you an iPhone. I mean a Nook. That.
Oh, Nook? You mean the e-reader?
Yeah, no, it's an iPhone, but they call it a
Oh.
Nook.
Gotcha. So,
And-
how could I have gotten confused?
Right. This is what you're gonna use to do everything in game, as far as scheduling events, finding people, calling people, contacts. All that stuff. Everything's gonna be on your phone. So.
It's maybe that's why this game isn't for us because this type of feature in any other game that's just like a little menu like
It's not a
system,
feature.
It's not a feature at all. It's just
Right.
like this is just something that every other game does. Like you need to go somewhere
Yeah.
to look at your quests and look at your inventory. So
It's just your in-game operating system.
why
it's
are
required.
we spending 5 minutes on this for Animal Crossing?
Right. And
Maybe
then
there's
they
not
make
much
it
there.
they make it look identical to an iPhone and they call it a Nook.
Yeah,
So,
someone's confused.
right. Then they're going to have scenes and seasons that change also at the time of the day. So night, day, summer, winter, spring, fall, all that stuff.
Oh, day-night cycle. Just another
Yeah,
thing
that's
that
weird.
definitely
That-
isn't
not a
a
feature,
feature in any other game.
So yeah, and the biggest news, I think, you can use your weeds now. So I know everybody used to hate clearing patches for building things, and there's all these weeds. So now the weeds will be a usable resource. Not sure what you can use them for, but
Like, just take a look back at these 5 bullet points that
I
you just
know.
created for this.
I
The
know.
final one and most exciting one is that you can use your garbage to make other garbage.
right,
Okie dokie.
we could have done without all of this.
I am sorry for whichever Animal Crossing fans we have that I'm offending right now, but somebody needs to sit down and just explain this to me because, like Moose, I'm so confused about what the hook is here. I remember that the mobile Animal Crossing game came out last year or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll dip my toes in Animal Crossing. And then it was like, go hit that tree so some apples fall out, and then use your apples to make a bench. Wait, what?
What?
And it's just, I don't. Somebody explain it to me, please. At Risky the Kid on Twitter. Thank you.
I don't get it either. You can at me too at Musenstein8314 because I always thought this game was just like a baby game. So help me out.
Like, I love Viva Pinata. I know people don't understand that game, so maybe it's the same thing.
So yeah,
there you go.
And then there was one last thing. They announced Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is coming out sometime next year. So I guess this is the good Xenoblade game?
Yeah, from what I've heard, is just kind of like, this is the good Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for Xenoblade Chronicles.
Garbage.
Right. Like, I think it was a letdown for them. So maybe this is the game we should have played and tried to enjoy.
But I gotta say, I'm not sold because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 trailer, definitely was misleading in my eyes because it looked like it was some cool, swinging around giant swords and hacking up giant bugs, and then you get there and it's all auto fighting, and it's no thank you.
I'm on the same page. That game was not for me, and this one would probably have to be on a steep discount for me to even look at it.
Right.
Fool me once.
So
shame on you. Feel me twice. All right, let's move on.
Cabo, when you finish this one, you can mail it to my house, and then I'll mail it to Risky, and we'll just do it backwards as the way we did too.
I'll put it in my glove compartment and never play it.
Yeah, how's this guy going?
Well, it made it out of the glove compartment and onto a shelf in my game room, so
that's where it shall live.
Yep.
That's where I have Captain Todd's treasure tractor. That one.
Captain Todd's treasure tractor.
It's Captain Toad, I know, but I like to call him Todd.
If anyone wants a copy of Disgaea 5, let me know.
He can mail it to you cheap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty much it. 27 hours later, it was a 40-minute direct, and it was all news.
There's a lot of stuff in there for a lot of different people. So
right, and I like how they do it because if this was a Xbox, what do they call it? Their
just like
their
a
little
press
weekly
conference.
show. No, they do
inside
Xbox. Yeah, this thing would have been 3.5 hours long.
On this 3.5 hour version of Inside Xbox,
deep dive Animal Crossing.
A deep dive into the new Nook feature on Animal Crossing.
Here we have an expert, one of the designers of the Nook. It's like, no, we don't care. So at least you can be happy with that. Nintendo does it right, short and sweet. Get you all the information and take notes because there's a lot.
And we have SNES games. The most exciting announcement to come out of this for sure.
It's got to be. So yeah, I don't think there's much else going on in the news. It was kind of a small week, right?
Yeah. If you're interested in Sea of Thieves, I didn't want to make this a news story, but they just went over all of their microtransaction stuff finally being put into the game. You can buy pets, cosmetics, all that kind of stuff. The prices for all that stuff is out in the public now. So if you're interested in Sea of Thieves, that info's there. They did a video on it today, so just check the YouTubes. Interesting.
Is there a poo-flinging monkey? Because I pay $7 for that.
Yeah, it's monkeys and parrots are the first two that they're introducing. More to come.
But do they fling their poo? Because that's
I heard they throw up.
Well, everybody throws up in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, it's also weird. Like, is he throwing up because you fed your monkey a bunch of alcohol? Like,
because you're a terrible person.
Is PETA gonna get involved in this?
Yeah, you're abusing animals.
I don't know. So anyways,
there's that.
Yeah. Well, hey, what new games are coming out this week? We can talk about that.
Yeah, coming out today. Yesterday, as the podcast was released, Celeste. Free DLC named The Farewell Chapters. It's coming out on all platforms. So if you played Celeste, they gave you a little bit more bonus here, just to kind of tie a bow on the story for you.
I dig it.
Greedfall coming out today as well. Xbox, PlayStation, PC.
Because who doesn't have time for another giant 100-hour RPG?
I'm going to buy it, so...
If only we were game share partners wherever you were going to buy it. I think this will be a pass for me, unfortunately. It does look awesome, though.
I'll buy it on Xbox, most likely. Because is there multiplayer or no?
I don't think so. I think this is a completely single-player thing. It reminds me of, like, The Witcher. It's just like a
I'll have to look
RPG,
at
totally
the
lost in.
PC requirements. Maybe this will be my first PC purchase.
There you go. Do it.
See if this little girl can run that game.
I'm sure it can.
Yeah.
At least at some type of resolution.
Yeah, 720 at least, right?
Yeah, you should be fine. 720p, 13 frames per second. It will run.
Yeah. That's fine. Let's see. Blasphemous is coming out on all platforms today as well. This looks like a really cool platformer. Both of us have been keeping our eye on it.
Yeah, mix of Dead Cells and Hollow Knight is what I'm seeing people say.
With some weird story elements.
Super.
It's like Dark
weird.
Souls too.
Yes.
I hear a lot of Souls-like stuff on it. So
the main character reminds me of like Pyramid Head from.
Yeah, it's weird. He's got a giant like cone on his head or something.
He's a cone head. It's weird.
It's like he's a knight, but his he's got a 4-foot helmet on top of his head that comes to a point on top. So just imagine that as your main character.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's really in depth from the review and trailers that I've watched. There's trees, skill trees, and trinkets and special things to find, story to go along with it. It looks like it's pretty in depth, but it is a $25 game, so I'm looking for it to be on sale.
Yep.
Gears 5 is out for common folk today as well.
Put it nicely.
If you have Game Pass but not Ultimate, first of all, why? Second of all, now you can play Gears. So, and I don't know anybody that owns an Xbox that would just buy the game and not have Game Pass. But
best value in gaming.
Right, exactly. Can't go wrong there. And then Daemon X Machina is coming out on the Switch, I believe, on the same date. It may be the 13th as well. Sorry, I didn't write it down.
Isn't that the demo?
Yeah, that's the one that has the demo out now, but the game is being released.
Gotcha. Okay.
I believe. I might have to double check that now. You're making
good.
me second guess it. Then there's a small little indie game coming out for all platforms, Borderlands 3.
I've never even heard of that.
I know, it's probably trash. I think Chaotic plays it, though, so maybe we could ask him next week.
I did get a confirmation from DanPod that we are buying this, though, as Game Show partners, so
Nice.
I will be there.
Like, I have such a hard time with all these sequel games because I haven't played through the first one. So
that's why Gears 5's doing it right and giving you a little recap video. Daemon X Machina is out September 13th.
Okay, cool.
Well, I just got confused because part of that Nintendo Direct from last week was like, hey, there's a demo out now, but also the game
Our game comes out in 7 days.
Right. So, cool. Go check out the demo.
You know,
it looks
Nintendo,
good.
they just got to keep it weird, like Austin.
Yep.
And the last but not least, NHL 20 for anybody that plays that game when it's not in EA Access. It's coming
Hopefully
out.
They're slot machines.
No, it's not dirty like those.
Boo. There's no NHL Ultimate Team?
No, I don't think so. They had like NHL 3s, and they've had 1v1v1. But all those, it's like the 3s is kind of like NBA Jam. So you pick a team, and then you just pick 3 players from that team.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. So NHL's fun, but it's fun for free. So wait till it comes out in the vault.
Yep.
So yeah, that's about it for games out this week. That's about it. There's quite a bit there, huh?
Yeah, we're getting into it.
Yep. Best games out since May, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's also a couple new games in Game Pass, Dead Cells. So if you have not played this platformer, now's your chance. No excuses. I would say this is the best way to play it.
Yeah,
100%. With latency and, the Switch is a little tougher as far as the controls go.
And Dead Cells is one of those games that you will hit frame drops if there's enough stuff happening on the screen. So
yeah, because you could be fighting 10, 15 guys at once and you're just dodge rolling all over the screen. Yeah,
easily. And in a game where you have to be so precise, it kind of suffers sometimes. So yeah, definitely give it a shot though. It's a great game.
Yep, I'd play it on Xbox, especially for free.
Yep.
And then also there's a couple 360 games. Well, it's one game, but it's the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. So that's MGS 1 and 2.
Which is technically a couple games in one game.
Yeah, I'm words. So yeah, I never played any of this. I know that's sacrilege in the gaming world, but I just never played these type of Splinter Cell, Metal Gear Solid,
stealth
the
action
stealth.
games.
As soon as you're seeing game over type games. So
They're
maybe
so
now's
fun.
the time. HD collection for free.
Get on it.
And that, I think, about wraps up our show. What are we going to
Nice.
do with the next 30 minutes?
3 hours worth of podcasts in the last couple days here.
We did have to omit a pretty in-depth conversation as far as endgame and what to look for with
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3 next week, but we figured Chaotic would just go ahead and fill us in on all that info next week.
Yeah, because
So-
Chaotic, we expect you to be at Endgame by the time we record the next podcast, so good luck.
And just expect next week's episode to be all Borderlands all the time. So if you're not into it, skip it.
No, definitely show up because there's all sorts of fun things. We're wrapping up Blair Witch Project, which I should probably start with, so.
Damn it. All right. I was trying to change the subject and forget about that.
Oh, no, we're not going to let you live this one down. Make sure to tune in to mixer.com/Moosenstein 8-something.
8314. Thanks for looking out for your boy there.
8314 Friday night at 10 Eastern.
Yeah, 10 to 10:30, somewhere along there I'll be on. If not at me.
To
come
watch him
find
pee
me
his
because I'm hiding.
pants.
Yeah, I'm hiding in the closet.
Oh, something came up, guys. Not going to be able to make it. I
What's
don't
my name? Chocolate?
believe you. Ba-dum-tsh. Got him.
So yeah,
All right.
that's
well,
about it for this week, Risky. We did it again.
Great work, team. It's Chaotic. Sorry that we made you record
Yeah.
an hour and 45 minutes worth of podcast and then not put you on the podcast this week, but we'll have you back next week for sure.
But I like to think of our podcast as more of a hang than a,
Come and
than a-
hang.
yeah.
Maybe
Come
learn
hang
some
out,
new
talk
things.
about games, see what we get wrong.
And then yell at us on Twitter about it, or just email chocolatebear80@gmail.com. Either or. Anyways, let's plug this thing up. Head over to iTunes. Make sure to rate us. Give us the 5 stars. Even if you hate the show and write terrible, mean things, just hit the 5-star because you're a
Right.
good person.
5 stars. You could say, F CAG podcast, but make sure we get those 5 stars.
More exposure, more friends. What more could you ask for?
Right, and apparently how the whole podcast thing works is iTunes is like the mecca. So go in there, give it 5 stars, and then it kind of all the other podcast apps
Trickles.
Yeah, if they filter through their, whatever it is, their list as far as popularity goes. So
Make us popular.
please,
Keg
we want more
popular again.
friends.
Speaking of friends, come join us in Discord. Links for the Discord are in the show notes. We talk about it every episode multiple times because that's where we all hang out. It's where we all talk about all sorts of things. We have a sports channel. I know that's big for a lot of people with the NFL season starting up here. We talk about the Game Pass stuff. We have a section for questions for the mailbag episodes. There's just everything we do. It's channeled through Discord. So make sure to join us over there. If you'd like to support us with your hard-earned money, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Like we mentioned at the top of the show, we are posting free content every week, and that comes to our patrons first and then to the general public week after that. So you can check it out regardless of whether or not you are a patron.
Be like Tim. Tim signed up and Tim won.
And yeah, be like Tim. That's our Patreon slogan. Be like Tim.
That's right.
But, of course, every episode we do like to shout out our top-tier contributors, and that is Chaotic.
Thanks, buddy.
It's been Chaotic forever. He pretty much just keeps this whole show running at this point.
Yeah, he pretty much owns the show.
Single-handedly. If he wants new segments or he wants co-hosts thrown out for not being able to show up on certain episodes.
Just let us know.
For sure, just let us know. Social media, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of fun stuff. We are at CAG Podcast. And if you need to reach out to us via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Moose.
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
All right, and shout out to Chaotic for showing up and recording this podcast and then not having this podcast out for everyone.
Right. We appreciate your time, buddy, even if it didn't happen.
And I appreciate your time, Moose.
You betcha.
For being
Anytime.
here for
Yeah, I
another
got
hour
9
and a half.
minutes. Nope. 9 minutes, I'm in dad mode.
You got to get out of here. All right. Well, hey, thank you everyone for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya. I got one joke for you today, Risky.
All right. Let me hear this one joke.
Did you know that Yoda had a last name?
It sucks that I could spoil this one because
know,
it's the
it's
same
a
joke
good
you
one.
used last time.
I know.
What was Yoda's last name?
His last name is Lehi-hoo.
It was so funny the first time.
Oh, well. At least they'll laugh.
All right. Two goldfish are in a tank. One says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
Huh.
Like the army vehicle?
Yeah. No, yep.
Ah.
2 forward is go forward, 2 back is back. That's all you need to know.
Yep. There you go. Sorry about these terrible
Wow.
things.
Yeah, these were bad.
All right. I'll just give you one more. Maybe this will work. What do you call a man with a rubber toe?
What?
Roberto.
Nice one. I like that one. A little Latin flair to it.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.